Hi, Samantha Berry. It is 10:19 p.m. Saturday, August 30th, 2025. This is my third video tonight. I first did a video and it sounded like a tornado. Then I did a second one to correct my first video. This is my third one. I was just sitting here watching some videos, listening to Brian Entin. Brian Entin Investigates. He has a very good YouTube channel. And I was just listening to him talk about Kaylee reporting that she had a stalker. I'm going to stop shaking this phone, I swear to God. And that there was no proof that she had a stalker. And that takes me back to an experience that I've gone through and stuff that I've heard from other people and stories that I've heard over the years. There was one story of two boys, two young men, and the oldest son was a star pupil. He was on the honor roll. He played sports. He was just good at everything. He was a very nice child. He had tons of friends. He was very happy. Everything seemed perfect. The younger brother had a learning disability, had a few behavioral problems, struggled in school. There was a few, he was not the golden child. Then the younger boy started saying that his older brother, the golden child, was doing stuff to him. And that when he was alone, that his older brother and the older brother's best friend would do stuff to him. And the older brother would deny it. And I'm going to find, it's an old case. I'm going to find the names. I'm going to find it. I'm going to dig it up. Because it's such a good example of what I'm talking about. And nobody believed this young boy. Nobody believed him. It went on for quite a while. They ended up medicating him. He got suspended from school. He was severely punished. His older brother did end up murdering him. And his best friend, the two of them murdered him one day and hid him somewhere. I can't remember the whole story. What they said happened. They lied, and then they were found out, and then finally confessed to what they did. And it's just a really sad story. It is a very sad story. And I mean, there's a few stories like I'm going to put it together. And with my story, when you first report abuse or you try reporting somebody, the very first reaction of everybody is to try to figure out if you're lying. That's the very first reaction. Everybody starts talking about who you are, this, that, who you're talking about. I straight out had people tell me, no. And I'm 58 years old. I have 3 children. I've been married, divorced. I've got a lot of life experience. I'm a very strong lady. And I was told straight out, no. And getting proof sometimes, you're being abused, trying to get proof before you go and tell somebody, I mean, really isn't even a thought when you're being abused. You don't stop and go, oh, I need to collect some proof. You don't think like that. Unless you're in that environment and you're taught to think like that, that's not your first reaction. When you're being abused, you just want to get help. You're actually going to shock that you're being abused. And it's a reaction to that fight or flight. You want to get help. You want help. You want to get away from the person that's abusing you. Once you report any kind of abuse, that person is so much angrier at you. When that first initial complaint, when you report something, people need to step in. Boom. Not try to figure out if you're telling the truth. That needs to stop. That part of the investigation shouldn't even happen. You need to make sure that person's safe regardless of who they're talking about. If you say the Pope is hurting you, it's not time to call the person a liar and go and have a great talk with the Pope about this person. No, that's wrong. You get that person to safety, to where they say that they're safe. It doesn't matter if you believe them. It does not matter. That has nothing, that shouldn't even come into it. You're not there to judge who they are or who they're talking about. You get them to safety, you proceed to make, and then you can investigate. But until that person says that they're safe, not you say that they're safe, till that person says that they feel safe, you don't start any kind of investigation. You don't do anything. Nothing. The very first thing should be to get that person away from whoever they say is hurting them. When that little boy said his brother was hurting him, there should have been a separation. He should never have been alone with him ever again. Just for the possibility that he's telling the truth. Just for that possibility. Because you're going to fail your victim, is what's going to happen. And it's going to cost your victim their life if you're wrong. And that's something you can't give back. So the minute somebody reports that they are being stalked, somebody's doing something to them, you need to intervene right there and separate them and get them to where they say they're safe. Then proceed with trying to figure out if they're lying. If they're lying, it's going to show. If they're not lying, it's going to show. The truth in time will be told. It'll show. You won't even have to investigate. It will show. The truth will show itself. I truly believe that. I don't care who it is that's saying whatever about whoever. I don't care who the two people are. I don't care. The first initial reaction from everybody is, are they lying? Who is it? Who are they talking about? That's got to stop. You need to get that person to safety. And then you have the conversation. That's what I think. I just wanted to touch on that really quick. I feel very passionate about that. I also I have to put it together, but some stalking tips on if you're being stalked. What to do, what not to do. I made some very big mistakes. I went through a very bad time. I made some very serious mistakes right at the beginning. They cost me and my daughter quite a bit, and excuse me. I've learned some stuff, and I would just love to give some tips. I really would. But the abuse thing, when somebody's reporting abuse, I just really feel so strongly about that. That has to change, how people react. And it is a reaction. You want to figure out, are they telling the truth? Who are they talking about? Oh, there's no way. There's no way. That's not up to you to do. And if you're wrong, do you know what's going to happen to that person? It's very serious. And that stalking abuse grows very quickly. Very quickly. And if that person is a danger to one person, they're a danger to more than that person. Guaranteed. So I just wanted to touch upon that. That's it. Somebody's doing the drying out there. And that's it. No tornado. Take care and be kind. Please like and subscribe to my videos. Peace. And my opinions are all unprofessional. Pure life experience. I'm a 58-year-old lady. And just pure life experience. Nothing's from a book. That's it. Take care. Peace. Excuse the hair.